This is your newsroom morning brief for Wednesday, July 31, 2025. Here's what's happening. A quiet storm of geopolitics, elections, and employment collided this week when 31-year-old Corwin Austin was fired from the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, GBTI, after his name appeared on the candidate list of the We Invest in Nationhood WIN party, led by U.S. sanctioned businessman Azruddin Mohammed. Austin, a network and system administrator, was summoned by GBTI's HR department and later senior management, who expressed concern about his association with the WIN party, specifically because its leader is under sanctions by the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC. The bank warned of financial and reputational risk associated with any dealings connected to Mohammed, given the strict prohibitions under the Global Magnitsky Act, which targets individuals accused of serious human rights abuses and corruption. In an attempt to save his job, Austin tried to withdraw his name from the candidate list, writing to the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, and contacting WIN officials. But GECOM informed him that the list had already been finalized. WIN acknowledged his withdrawal request, but reportedly did not complete the necessary follow-up. Presented with the choice to resign or face termination, Austin opted for the latter. He has since expressed disappointment, but says he remains committed to working with WIN, citing a desire to uplift his community. The development highlights the local consequences of international sanctions, particularly for institutions like GBTI and Demerara Bank, the latter of which has reportedly closed the accounts of other WIN candidates as precautionary measure. This comes amid heightened political activity ahead of the September 1 general and regional elections, where WIN's emergence has disrupted traditional political dynamics. On the campaign trail, President Irfaan Ali told supporters in Rosal Berbice that his government plans to elevate the part-time employment program launched in 2022 into a more sustainable pathway for full-time work and entrepreneurship. The program, which has provided thousands of jobs across rural Guyana, especially in regions 5 and 6, was designed to offer flexible employment and skills training to underemployed populations, particularly women. The president said the government intends to strengthen support services such as regional childcare centers so that young professionals, single mothers, and part-time workers can transition into full-time roles of business ownership. He also outlined a series of infrastructure and service delivery pledges for Berbice, including the construction of a national stadium, the completion of a 4-lane highway from New Amsterdam to Molson Creek, expansion of education and healthcare training, and investments to diversify income for sugar workers. These promises are central to the PPPC's re-election message, which is grounded in continued development, social assistance, and major infrastructure The president urged residents not to be swayed by similar pledges from opposition parties, framing the part-time program's evolution as part of a larger strategy to improve household incomes and reduce inequality.
That is why today a young girl from Blackbush or a young boy from New Amsterdam can dream equally because they know they have a government that will realize that. That is why today any young person wanting to do a law degree, wanting to do a medical degree, pharmacy, engineering, all of these things, you can do it now because we will pay for it. And maybe let these same young ladies tell you, these young ladies, they went and they paid for their first degree. Today, your children, your grandchildren, the next generation of children will have not a single worry of paying for any level of education. And do not take that for granted. Any person here who want to be a nurse, we will train you free of cost. We will give you a stipend while we train you. I guarantee you employment.
The main opposition People's National Congress PNC has sold 83 million worth of its Republic Bank Guyana shares to Maritime Life Caribbean Limited, a Trinidad-based insurance and investment firm. The move, quietly executed in the recent weeks, appears to be a bid to boost its flattering election campaign, which has been plagued by low turnout at public meetings and a lack of external financing. Republic Bank reportedly facilitated the transaction without approaching local buyers, raising eyebrows within financial and political circles. Sources suggest the party owns over 500 million in Republic Bank shares, but internal concerns about the management of those assets have resurfaced. Senior party officials are questioning the transparency of the sale, especially in wake of past controversies, including the resignation of the party's treasurer over demands to sign blank checks. While the PNC has not publicly commented on the matter, the sale suggests mounting pressure to fund a viable campaign, especially as APNU-led coalition faces an uphill battle against the PPPC. In a notable show of support from the sports community, Guyana's only Olympic medalist, Michael Parris, has publicly thrown his weight behind President Ali's re-election bid. Parris, who won a bronze medal in boxing at the 1980 Olympics in Moscow, remains a revered figure in Guyanese and Caribbean sports history. His endorsement is being interpreted as both symbolic and strategic, as it underscores the administration's efforts to honor past sporting achievements and improve athlete welfare. He has spoken about receiving tangible support from the current administration, including from the National Sports Commission and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. This is in contrast to past experiences where he felt his contributions were overlooked. His decision to endorse the president adds to a growing list of public figures aligning with the ruling party ahead of the upcoming elections. Meanwhile, in Region 5, President Ali officially opened the new Bath Regional Hospital, a multi-million-dollar facility that significantly will boost the region's healthcare capacity. The new hospital comes equipped with CT scanning, 3 surgical theaters, dialysis units, an ICU, neonatal and eye care services, and a 24-hour emergency department and pharmacy. According to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, the facility offers 75 inpatient beds, a modern birthing suite, step-down care for recovering patients, and the ability to conduct elective and emergency surgeries. It replaces previous reliance on the under-resourced Maikoni and Fort Wellington hospitals. The president said the hospital reflects the government's broader health equity agenda, ensuring rural and less affluent populations receive care on par with urban and private sector services. The new hospital is part of a wider network of health investments, which includes 26 new health centers countrywide, 12 new hospitals, and over 400 facility upgrades since 2020. The administration has also committed to building a national health information system and integrated patient management records to further strengthen healthcare delivery.
The CT scan that you will now have here is a 20-ply CT scan. What did you have before? 0. From 0 to a modern 20-ply CT scan. Dialysis. You will now have 2 chairs available here for dialysis. What did you have before? 0. From 0 to 2 chairs for dialysis. You will have support for every single level of eye care. Every single level. What did you have before? 0. Today with this new hospital, you will have services in eye care for every single level. Doesn't that deserve a huge round of applause? The people of Region 5, are you hearing me? Well, let me hear you. You must not sit quietly on your accomplishment. You must learn to support and celebrate your own accomplishment. No one will come from outside and celebrate who you are. Are you happy today for this facility? No, I can't hear you. On September 1st, I want to hear you louder. And our nurses too. I want those smiles out on September 1st. Because we have invested in you, and I'm not shy. I'm a very direct person. I don't shy away from the facts and the truth. I don't shy away from work. I don't shy away from responsibility. I don't shy away from the facts and the truth. And if there is anyone in our society who must acknowledge the work of the government, it is the people, because we have worked for every single person in this country. Nice, now I'm hearing you. Lab services in this region. This hospital alone will expand and increase availability of lab services by more than 40%. You had 2 ultrasound machines before. In this new facility alone, you will now have 3 ultrasound machines. Our mothers and newborn babies, you had 0 access to NICU, neonatal care units, specialized units for your children. You had 0 before. With this facility, you now have an NICU for 4 babies. Before this facility, you had 0 ICU beds. Today, with this new facility, we now have 3 ICU beds for you in this region. You had 1 operating theater. This second tent, I want to hear you. This one over here. You have 1 operating theater before. Today, you have with this new facility 3 operating theater. Good. This is what we've invested in here. A state-of-the-art facility, a modern facility in Region 5, because you deserve equal care and equal treatment like any other region in this country.
Turning to the courts, Magistrate Faith Magasti on Wednesday led a site inspection of the Ashmins Building in Georgetown, a key location in the ongoing fraud trial concerning alleged attempts to rig the 2020 elections. 9 individuals, including former GCOM officials and senior members of the APNU-AFC coalition, are on trial for conspiring to manipulate the results.
The Ashmins Building housed the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM Command Center during the 2020 elections. It is a central location in the ongoing trial into the March 2020 elections. On Wednesday, presiding Magistrate Faith Magasti led a site visit to the location. The visit forms part of the ongoing legal proceedings involving 9 individuals charged with conspiring to manipulate the 2020 elections results in favor of the APNU-AFC coalition. Present at the site were Minister of Local Government Sonia Parag, local observer Rosalinda Rasul, former Region 4 Police Commander Edgar Thomas, and Kian Jabor, each of whom was taken into the building individually to identify and clarify locations they had spoken about in their testimonies. The prosecution led questioning during the inspection, which was video recorded, and several measurements were taken. Key areas identified included the tabulation circulation room on the ground floor and the balcony where the former Region 4 returning officer Clement Mingo allegedly made a false declaration of the election's results. Thomas, who had responded to a report at the location, pointed out a room where former GCOM staff member Enrique Livan was reportedly found. Meanwhile, Jabor directed the court to an upstairs room where GCOM chairperson, retired Justice Claudette Singh, was said to be during the events in question. The site inspection was conducted in the presence of the prosecution and defense attorneys as well as the defendants. Such visits are standard legal procedures in both civil and criminal trials, designed to help the court gain first-hand knowledge of the physical environment referenced in the testimony, clarify evidence, and resolve any discrepancies. 9 individuals are currently before the court charged with conspiring to manipulate the election results in favor of APNU AFC, thereby seeking to deny victory to the PPP. Those charged include former Government Minister Waldo Lawrence, former Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowingfield, former Region 4 Returning Officer Clement Mingo, and former Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers, among others. The trial has been adjourned to September 15. For the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
And finally, in regional news, St. Lucia has joined a growing list of Caribbean countries to strike down colonial-era laws criminalizing same-sex relations. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court on Tuesday ruled that sanctions of the island's criminal court targeting buggery and gross indecency were unconstitutional. This marks the 4th such legal victory in the region since 2022, following similar rulings in Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts, Nevis, and Dominica. Activists say these rulings are pivotal not just for legal reform, but also for tackling social stigma, discrimination, and abuse. While enforcement of these laws has historically been rare, human rights organizations argue that their very existence has perpetuated marginalization of LGBTQ+ people across the region. That's your newsroom morning brief for today, July 31, 2025. Stay with us throughout the day for updates and in-depth coverage.